Alright, welcome back everyone. Here we are after a week's worth of building, making some progress finally, getting things to sort of come together. Got my little display cabinet in this little room. Hopefully we'll finish up this room and we'll start decorating the roof pretty quickly tonight. I think we should be able to do that in a reasonable amount of time. But I think making good progress. Things are really coming together. Looks like a nice little build as far as the everything. I'm looking forward to seeing where all this ends up. But if you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures and how I hopefully fix those inevitable failures as they come up. Upload daily and just try and have a good time. We're not solving the world's problems, just building silly little models, having a bit of fun, and trying to get my camera to focus. If you've seen any kits or builds or sets you want me to take a shot at, feel free to drop in the comments. I'm always looking to add on my list, and I've got the most intelligent audience on YouTube because y'all provide me with nothing but the best options. Usually this camera's much better at this. Maybe bring in something else in for it to focus on. Okay, there it goes. I don't know what was going on there. But, I say this is our box of goodies for the night. Gonna set up our banister, guardrails, whatever you want to call it. Gonna make us a little magic wand cane, which I'm not optimistic about doing it the way they've got it set up here, but I'll make a shot at it. Token effort anyway, before I just color it brown and call it a day. We got a few decorations here and there, but start off. I'm supposed to start off, making the cane, and we're expected to cut this out and match that up. I said I'd try, so I guess I'll try, but I don't think my hand's gonna be steady enough, nor am I an accurate enough cutter to even really get close on this. Let's see what happens. But like I said, I think I'm just gonna end up painting it brown. Let's see how one side goes, and then we'll go from there. They've obviously got a laser cutter. I don't know why they wouldn't cut these shapes out too. It'd be much easier than me trying to do it by hand. With the X-Acto knife. I don't even have enough to grab onto to move it around. I'm just going to whine about this the whole time. And now, yeah, I guess I'm going to the X-Acto knife a little bit quicker. Because, like I said, I don't have enough to grip to hold on to get the blades around this part. And looking where it's situated, I don't think we need to do both sides. Okay. That's probably about as close as I can get to it. Let's see how yeah, I'm really not digging this method here. Okay, so it's going to be a fairly good match. Like I said, this goes back in the corner, so I'm not going to be worried about putting the other side on if I can get this side to work. Let's see what happens. B7000 out here. And a little swizzle stick. I don't even have enough. Yeah, just gonna keep whining about it. Is that the right? Yeah, that's the right side. Spread as much out as I can. To me, I think they could accomplish pretty much the same effect, just printing that on some fairly thick cardstock, doubling it up. But, okay, it didn't turn out as bad as I thought it would. No, there's, okay. Still not pleased with it, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, now to more. Got us another copy of. Been a minute since I've done a copy of the Marauders map, but I'm pretty sure that's what this is supposed to represent. Get my pick and my scoring. Straight edge here. I don't know if they're showing up, but there are actually pretty good dashed lines on this one. A lot of times you can't hardly see them. This one they made the dashes a little bit lighter, so they stand out some. That's a good. I like when I can actually find the appropriate place to score it at, rather than just sort of guessing. Leave that middle one up. No, this one. No, I got it. Okay. This one's a little bit double up here, a little thicker in the middle section. Now, okay, this really, if I get it, going back and forth. Middle section there. And we're going to end up leaving it splayed out, so that's don't need to glue this one into place. Okay, that's it goes. Let's see. Sort of comes together like a Marauder's map appearance. We're going to end up with it sort of like so. Eventually, so set that up there with our wand. Let's see. Magic cane, what more looks like to me. I think they're calling it a wand. Yeah, they still say the big crooked thing's a wand. And now, paper. Let's see. I think I missed some pieces there. But they should just be popping off. Okay. Got distracted there. Let me get back to work. This one. Get a paper. Okay. Store it a couple of ways. We're supposed to double it up, make it thick-ish. Okay. Oh, evidently we're supposed to do two of those, huh? I'm messing up all kinds of instructions today. Let's see. Where you were 128. There we go. Now that's Magic House. Ah, there you are. Here. Alright. Another one here. Go the other way on that one, just where there's a couple of stacks there. We'll do them crisscross if we want to. I'm trying to. Okay, so I think I've got. Okay, looks like we are ready to install. Start putting pieces in. I'm trying to do a checklist here. Got oh, y'all can't see that. Let's go 18, 19, 20, 22. I think. Oh, listen, that might be. Okay, those are actual stickers. Okay, that's what's confusing me. Yeah, there we go. These guys. Okay, that's why I didn't pull them, because they're stickers. Okay, so that's this group of stickers here we're going to be using. That's what we're going to use to cover our power line in there. Okay, but that's. Okay, that's what. Okay, these guys. There. That. Finally put in that first magic table we made. Our Marauder's map. And our magic wand. Okay. All that stuff goes against. officially empty the tray of tiny pieces once we get done with this. So still got our guard or banisters to put on, but that's next. And this strip, they gave us a gray strip to go across the front, but I've already painted that gray. So I don't think there's much need for me to do that. I'll look and see how it looks. We'll think about it. Okay. But get my reliable phone stand out. Maybe it's mostly against the back wall, so it should be a little flatter. Okay, I guess I'll start off with it flat and then move to the phone stand. Because we are, like I say, we're putting our posters up along this. Got a little bit, and I do got a little bit of extra glue on that part there. Let me trim it down a little bit. I think that'll be smooth enough for us to cover it up. Okay, so that's where our stickers start. Just trying to sort of work our way around to hide that little light, that wire there. So about so. Next one on. Other way, I have to try and angle it. Make it a little random-ish. This one actually looks like it doesn't go on the power line, it goes next to the wall here. Because we're going to have our table set up here, so I think it's going to cover that last little bit after we do this one. Cycle on there. So that lumpy bit of glue was too, so look at that. Oh, I can't. There you go. Poster is mostly obscuring all of that. Then magic wand goes in over here, sort of leaning up against our cabinet down through there. Glue string there. So let's just tap a couple of B7000 on the. Oops, I don't even think it'll take more than one tap. Just one generous dot right there. Should be enough to hold it in place. Top. It didn't work. There we go. So, that actually does a pretty good job lining up the last little bit of that wire. Happenstance, sometimes it's handy. Okay. Next, now these two over here on our brick wall in that zone. So those are not stickers, so let's just do a dot about right here. This one. I like them to be sort of random and going this way and that. Just personal preference. And then another one underneath here. I like that. Nice. That is sort of I would imagine. Yeah, think about the burrow, the Weasleys home, the burrow. I think that's sort of random. It's more fun than order. Okay. And then the last bit, our magic table. Let's see, that's the front and the back. It's supposed to go in right about there. Next to our wand in front of our window, I think, like so. I say this is really getting in the way of me showing you all this, but find prop it up somewhat, and I say it should be. That should be good. Okay, gotta stick with the B7000. Just a generous, more generous on the sides and the front. Just want to make sure I get a good chance to lock it all in. Okay, so that seems to be doing okay. Now, I think, yeah, the rest of the stuff is in this zone, so maybe I can do that. Okay, trying to see. Okay, so this is our floor decoration, whatever. This supposed to represent zodiac signs, phases of the moon, something or another. So just put a little swirl on that. Go in. That in there. Table still staying down, so that works. Marauder's map supposed to go sort of on top of it up there, so I think I'm just going to concentrate on the middle because I believe it'll stay. I think I've got it. Yeah, it's supposed to. It's a magic map. It's supposed to be sort of doing its own thing. And our newspapers. I guess I do need to. They're taking them onto their own, so I'm gonna tack them down with some super glue here. So one little dot in the middle. Fold you over. One little dot there. Okay, still staying a little thick, but it's the inside layers are staying together, so I think that'll work. They're supposed to be over here next to our table. There. First one down. Pick the second one up. That's gonna work. They look pretty thick with the way they're sort of standing up there. I guess really I could turn on the lights so I can see in there a little bit better. Yeah, let's see. What else Is that all? Yeah, that's all our pieces. Okay, cool. Didn't realize I'd already done everything. Now, where are we at? 25-ish. I'm probably going to do the same thing I did yesterday, where I just do half of it tonight and then half of it tomorrow. So I'd like to finish up. I'd like to get our banister in place. Alright. So, and I just realized I didn't take a picture of a thumbnail for yesterday's, which is uploading right now. But okay, I'm getting distracted. Okay, let me see here. Banister. Let me see here. It occurred to me when I was talking about uploading there that I hadn't actually uploaded the video from yesterday, so I need to start that up so I can go to bed at a decent hour now. But I should have given that enough time. But let's see, I can't remember. It's been like 3 minutes, and I can't remember if I'd shown you all this. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty nice on that second floor. That completes the decoration there. Like I say, all we gotta do is put our banister rails up. So let me see how they work. Let's see. I think these two are the same. These two are in the middle. Okay. So going here. I'm assuming it's back on the main bit. And then this guy goes, spans that. Then this one here, and our little one there. So we're splitting the difference on the end there. Okay, so definitely I think this one's going to be a job for super glue. A little more illumination here. And don't give us a great view. Nope. I get a little short there, my wires are crossing each other. Yeah. Exposed copper there, so it's not. That goes. Oh, is it? Yeah, I think it's gonna be at this back corner of the brown bit there is where that's where I'm aiming at anyway. I like it better when these things tie together rather than just gluing them in proximity. Okay, so smooth even coats on all three notches there. Pressure down on it. Okay, it's sticking, so that's a start. So this one, just to connect them. I'm guessing about like that. Try and get it as close to. Well, you can't see. As close to the ledge as I can here. Maybe. No, I have to go. Yeah, there's some pretty good gaps in this one, so I guess it's just get as close as you can. Fairly centered on the. Even in the picture, you can see the gaps in it. So I think, yeah, let's see, there's plenty of space in between them there. Okay, we've only got two very tiny little studs to glue it with. That's not ideal. Even with good super glue like this. Okay, so that there to there. Now the parts that you can't see at all. Something like so. I think I'm definitely have to leave it laying down, so you're not even going to be allowed to see any of it. Okay, not terrible, but like I said, I would much rather see them connected somehow. I've seen them with like little hoops where you sort of string them together. I think that looks a little better, but they didn't ask me. Now this last one, I'm really finding dubious because it's only got that one little stud on the bottom now. So I'm guessing I'm going to have to go up against next to this other one. Get some. Okay, so I'm gonna. Yeah, that seems like a design flaw. It should have 2 feet. Something like this. Okay, I may try. I'm gonna put some B7000 on the ends here, and then super glue the bottom, so hopefully that'll stabilize everything together. That's my going plan right now. Okay. So actually, I guess I better do the B7000 first because that's the one. That's the one that's actually got a minute or two before I can mess around with it. Just a little touch there. And there. And dab of super glue. I'm actually going to bring this up so I can see. Hopefully, get you an awesome view. There's. Okay, that should, like I said, that glue should bind those 2 rails together to make a little support for it, a little more stabilization. But I'm going to let that sit for the night. Like I say, come back tomorrow afternoon and finish this. That finishes that section. We're going to go into our roof decoration next. We get to put some AstroTurf on here in a minute. Or for y'all it'll be in a minute. Tomorrow, for me it'll be tomorrow. But I think, that's not a bad looking little room there. The lighting does a good job of showing all the details. Get those all turned off here if I can find the last button. Yeah, it's sort of. And it's in person. It's not as bright. It's sort of more a mellow light glow than it is as bright as the camera has better eyes than me. Yeah, I'm digging the way this is coming together. I think I always like seeing things really start to take shape, and now I'm really curious about where the steps and everything are over on this side coming out. I'm looking forward to seeing. And I'm still not real sure about what the deal is with this hole right here. I don't think it ever gets filled in. I'm trying to look at the cover while I'm showing y'all this. I don't see anything else in there. So I guess that's just so we can see from the top down into our little nook there. Not sure. But anyway, I'm going to call it a night, but I'll be right back and we'll start doing some AstroTurf. Some landscaping maybe. So, be right back with that. Okay, brand new day for me, and I'm not going to put a tremendous amount of pressure on it, but that seems to be pretty stabilized there. Everything's locked in now. I think it's. So I still don't understand why they call it. You know, it's obviously just a cane or a walking stick. Don't know why they'd have to call that a wand. I haven't done it. I just thought about it. Yeah, it's going to show good lights through the back when we. So I think I've had one. I probably have had one with functional windows before, but I don't think it's been that extensive with them. So that's just like I said. I just noticed that when I was picking it up. But like I told you a minute ago, we're going to be working on the roof now, getting some AstroTurf laid down. I believe is the first step. I call it AstroTurf. No, I was wrong. Actually, get some. Get to stay still. Get some walking stones in place. Looks like this one. Gotta undo my. Gotta pass it through the holes. We gotta undo my wiring on this part. Feel better about how good it went together there. Okay, there it goes. And okay. So this one go through. That. It's later. Okay, so it's going to go on like that. We're going to want to leave a little lip because we got some walls to put up along the back and the side there. So that's why there's a little overhang there. So we'll want to make sure we get that hole lined up pretty close there. And then these guys, the other three, I think. Okay, so we want this one here to sort of obscure the view of the side of our lights. They don't see the big hole. Are these? I think these are the same. Yeah, those two are the same. Sort of the same deal on this one. Sort of. Don't want it to cover the light, but we want to not be able to see it as plainly from the side. And this guy just goes somewhere in this general vicinity. Okay. That's gonna. But those come out. We're gonna put those in after we put our AstroTurf down. But we'll start with this one. So just flip you over. I'm gonna do not a crazy amount of glue, just random dots around here. Got plenty to hold it down, but I'm not worried about coating the whole thing. It shouldn't be too difficult. Alright, like I said, you little swizz around and get that lined up. Yeah, so that's, yeah, I got clearance on that hole there, so that's actually probably, yeah, that's a good, to get the geometry down. You want to make sure you leave all the lights exposed so they can shine up. Okay, now I'm going to set that aside. I'm unreasonably excited about this next little bit. We got our AstroTurf, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to try and get that lump out of the middle. A little bend there, but all the ones these I've done before. This is the first one that actually came with a sticker for the pattern. Usually you got to cut the pattern out and tape it down. So, like I said, this is new territory for me to have a sticker with that we're going to be cutting out of. So, sort of that on, and we're cutting out the white section. So let's just that. Don't know if we're going to need the extra, but I'll cut this bottom section off. That should give us plenty to run with if we do need more. Or I decide to go rogue and do some of my own. Cut out the sticker, that'd be the simplest thing. And now, in theory, this should be reasonably easy. And get fairly close to the line. It's always a little tricky for me. I think these straight lines are the really important ones because these are the ones that are actually on the edges. I think I'll go up. I'll trim that one back after. Let's get it out of the way right now. And I'll see if I can't get that line pretty close. Grass patch / AstroTurf number 1. That's good. And this one a little more curvy there on the edge, so it may not be as fun. Let's see if I can go. Class off of there. Yeah, this is much easier than the ones where you just got to cut out the paper pattern and go for it. Okay. Let's see. Oh. Another couple of bigger patches of it left, so I'll hang on to them, but I'll get rid of these slivers. Also, maybe you'll see I've got a little bit of grass patch where they shed here, so keep that in mind. Oh, we got those guys. Now, this back in. Didn't just knock everything out of whack, and I did. I don't think this side. I think the glue contacted over here. It was a little too easy to move. But it should still be okay when it's all said and done. Okay, so this one is supposed to slide in right here. Pretty close. Supposed to be a little more snug, but I think I want to get. I'm gonna take a little bit off that top one. Yeah, I might take a might try and fine tune that one. And this one, just to line up. Makes it still leaving a lip on the edge. That looks about like the picture where it does. So that's good. Now let's see. Get my fine tuning scissors out here and see if I can't just take a shade off of this. Okay, maybe a little bit. Right in here. think I'm going to call that one close enough. I want to be... I think... Check the front cover on this, see if I think it'll give us a good view of that one. I don't think there's anything else over in this section to interfere there, so I'm not worried about going up towards the edge on that. Yeah, I see the wall we're going to put in tomorrow ends back here, so we should be good on that. Okay. So, now the question is, that sticker going to come back off, or do we just leave it on and glue it there? That seems like it's down pretty good. I guess we'll glue onto the sticker. So, start with you. Maybe a little more. Spread it out a little bit, not try and get in all the corners. And you are this way. Yep. Okay, that seems to be pretty okay. I did miss that very edge there, but I'm not gonna undo it to fix that. I'll make sure I get this edge on this one though. Okay. And here, the same thing. That seemed to work pretty good. Just spread it around. Get in the corners for sure. Got that. Okay. Let's say leaving that light exposed. We're trying to line it up there. Here we go. I think that suits me pretty nicely. So we got our one light sort of going off into the distance here. So we've only got, like I say, got one more here. I've got a couple more extra lights that I'm sure we'll have to wire in. I think there's 3 or 4 more actual bulbs left, but that's for tomorrow to worry about. I think that really does create that nice lawn look. And now all I can do is see that corner sticking up there. Let's get out my little swizzle stick, see if I can't slide a little glue in underneath there. It'll hold it in, just sort of ease in there. May not even hold it down. May just be too. Yeah, I think that might have been right where the bend was, because it seems to be wanting to stand up. Oh, how's my... Yeah, this thing is moving around a whole lot more than I'd like it to. Let me... Yeah, I'm getting contact on that. Let me go back and thick beads. Okay, I can feel it sticking into it now. Alright. Yeah, that's got a lot more substance to the sticking down. Now we got these 3 guys. And we'll call it a night. So, now that I know where my grass is, I know where I can stick these safely. And one. Let's see, you. Like so. And this one on that. Oh. Yeah, that's not what you want to do. So, clump of grass isn't super obvious whenever it dries. I'll take this guy just sort of down in between. Okay, maybe a little bit. All right. Yeah, that seems to match the picture pretty close. I could have done a better job at trimming on there. This thing, I'm pretty pleased with how this one turned out though. Things sticking down. But I think it was a long shot that I was going to get that to line up perfectly with that little, the pavers there. Well, yeah, that suits me. Looks alright. But I'll say, nice productive day. Got our second room completed and our started off on our terrace or whatever you want to call the rooftop situation. I think really, like I say, this section's starting to take shape now, and I've been so preoccupied with this I sort of forgot we got like a whole batch of steps that's going to be coming off the side here, and we're going to double this structure before it's all said and done. So that's going to be quite a. This is going to be a much. I was starting to build on this. I didn't realize how much bigger, how much further. So it'll probably go, I'd say, at least this far over. Yeah, because there's not a lot of rooms. Like I say, there's a pretty good fancy staircase, and looks like there's a little room behind the staircase. It's going to be interesting to build. Yeah, this is going to be a fun little build. Like, hopefully we can get done in a decent amount of time, because it's as crazy as it is. It's almost time to start up on Christmas builds, which is just blowing my mind, because end of next week will be November. But that's something to worry about at the end of next week. In the meantime, thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share, do whatever you want to with all that. Be good to one another, stay safe, and click on a link. There's my channel over there if you'd like to subscribe. There's my other channel if you want to see me do experiments once or twice a month, hopefully. That's what YouTube thinks you should be watching, and that is a playlist for this whole build. I'll see you tomorrow.